The college basketball experience, Big South Conference preview for 2023-24 on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has just added Pick'em Scorchers, where you can win 100 times the amount of money you enter. That's right, folks. Turn $5 into $500 in just one game. Plus, every Sunday, they're giving away $100,000. Use the promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $500. We're also brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code SGP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off free shipping at manscaped.com. Use that promo code SGP. And finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people.
This is Martin Cleese, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome. Welcome to the college basketball experience. Big South season preview. Oh, I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait to talk a lot about a lot of these teams, especially, one game that's coming out in early November, but we're still in October. We're breaking down every single conference preview. All right. All 31 of them. Go out there, listen to them. They're all, a bunch of them out are already out. I can't talk, but I'm excited. That's part of my excitement. I've had a lot of coffee this morning. So probably wondering who the hell you're listening to, and that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
We got the chat rolling along. Chase Davis is saying, holy shit, I've been listening to you guys for a few years and finally catching out the live show. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Chase. Appreciate Ike. Oh, my guy Ike B is in the chat. He's a Longwood Lancer alum. He's excited about the possibilities that the Lancers could be back dancing in March. Oh, I am joined by one of the many co-hosts. You've heard him on the college baseball experience. You've heard him on the other college basketball conference previews on the college basketball experience. You've even heard him previously on the MLB gambling podcast. Give it up for, I need a nickname here, but give it up for the LeBaron driving, Chrysler living, Noah Bieniek. How you doing, brother?
We prefer General Motors in this house, but how are we doing, Colby?
Look, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Anytime you can talk Big South basketball. It's funny. I was doing my prep for this episode over the past 24 hours, and I'm like, I kind of love this conference. It's like, I know I say that for every conference because I love college basketball and I'm a fucking maniac. But I mean, I really enjoy watching game by game a few of these schools. I know Ike B, Longwood fan. The past 2 years, Longwood has been like a really fun watch, in my opinion. That's one. We're gonna get to a couple others that I'm super excited to watch about this year. But love me some Big South basketball. That's why I'm excited to talk about it. What'd you make of this conference, man?
Dude, when looking through it, it's always like when you take some time away from the college basketball and transitioning like through college football, or for me, college baseball to college football, getting back to some of these conferences where it's like, these are the conferences that really make you love college basketball, because there are a few damn good teams that you just wish, like, I'm not one of these that are calling for the NCAA tournament to expand, because I know definitely 3 Big South teams aren't getting into the NCAA tournament, but I think 3 Big South teams could make some noise if they did get into the NCAA tournament this year.
Yeah, and if they want to expand to 96, wherever the fuck Greg Sankey wants, he's not talking about the Big South. He's talking about getting Vanderbilt in the NCAA tournament with a 8-12 conference record or something like that.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before, Colby. Like, I truly believe that the best time for college basketball is conference tournament week, not really the first weekend of the March Madness, because conferences like these, it's like the last time you see some of the teams play, and yeah. I think this is going to be a very fun conference race this year.
I agree. Let's get into it. We got 9 teams, by the way. If you are not familiar with the Big South, you got Charleston Southern, Gardner Webb, High Point, Longwood, Presbyterian, the Highlanders of Radford, UNC Asheville, South Carolina Upstate, and Winthrop.
Were the Camels the only one that voyaged out of the Big South?
Yeah, they jumped over. They're in the CAA now. The Campbell Camels. We'll have more on them as we do the CAA preview in the next week or so. But yeah, man. I mean, let's just jump right into it. Let's go alphabetically. Let's start with the Charleston Southern Buccaneers, coming off a 10-21 season, 5-13 in conference play, 9th in the Big South. Remember, there was 10 teams, so they weren't actually dead last, but they were not very good. Barclay Rodbaugh is back for his 19th season as head coach in college hoops, and I'm excited to see the Buccaneer Fieldhouse rocking. But they lose substantial minutes here. Claudel Harris, 17.5 points a game, gone. Talik Chavez, 11 points per game, gone. Tyree Bryan, 10.5 points a game, 6 boards, gone. So they take some pretty big hits. Now, they were active in the portal. I think that's what you got to be in 2023. They brought in DJ Patrick from South Florida, running with the Bulls. Patrick, 6 points a game in Tampa. That's a nice get. He's projected to start for them. Also brought in Quentin Bolton from New Mexico Military. Jordan Tamu used to go to New Mexico Military, if you know XFL football and Ole Miss football. Brought in Amarian Savage from Eastern Washington. E-Dub, the Eagles, where I watched the Eagles play live last year. Lewis Hutchison coming in from the Rams of Rhode Island, and he averaged 9.5 points a game as a freshman with Rhode Island. That's a nice good. I'm sorry. He averaged 2 points a game, 9.5 minutes with Rhode Island a year ago. That's a nice get, though. A little A10 love there. Also brought in Noble Days from the Tulane Green Wave. He averaged just about a point there, played about 8 minutes. He's a grad transfer. Just going to add some experience. And then the Alan Sumler, from the north of northern Kentucky coming in now. I believe some of these may still be waiting on a waiver, which is always tricky. You know, the NCAA, those crooks. But, I mean, look, the thing is they only got 3 guys from a year ago that played over 20 minutes a game returning. They lose a lot of scoring production, but Taj Kelly is the guy to watch. I think the 6'7" forward that averaged 11 points a game, almost 6 boards a season ago. If anything, I kind of am bullish on the front court with him and Caleb Clinton, but I am very concerned about the guard play. All in all, I do have Charleston Southern towards the back of the conference. Noah, your thoughts on the Buccaneers?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. The Buccaneers, they lose 3 of their top 4s 3 of their top 4 scorers from a last place Big South team, or second to last place Big South team from last year. It's tough to assume that's addition by subtraction because this year's team is young. The projected starting 5 includes 3 juniors, 2 sophomores. Like you mentioned, only 3 players return with over 20 minutes of per game experience from last year. Youth isn't the only concern for me. They lack height and length. The goal for Coach Barclay Radabaugh, I think, is to finish around 500 in the league is steep, but just retain as many of these guys as possible for next year. Enter his 20th season at Charleston Southern with one of the more experienced teams in the Big South. That'll give you a chance to compete in the top half of the league.
Yeah, I expect regression this year. And
regression from second to last?
Well, no. Well, actually, with them lose, there's only 9 teams. I expect regression as far as scoring the ball. All right. I don't think they're going to be able to score as good as a year ago, and I think they probably will be competing for last place. I'll get to the pecking order at the very end here, but let's jump over and talk about the Runnin Bulldogs. Gardner Webb. They're fun. I enjoy them in football and basketball. Subscribe to the FCS College Football Experience, folks, if you haven't. Tim Kraft entering his 11th college hoops season last year. Gardner Webb out of Boiling Springs, North Carolina. They were 15-16 overall, 10-8 in conference. They were a fun watch last year, in my opinion. Very fun watch. They do get hit a little bit, though. Kareem Reed, who averaged almost 12 points a game, 6 boards, gone. Anthony Selden, it's about 12 points, 5 boards, gone. Ludovic Dufal, gone. 6 points a game there. So those are 3 guys combining for about, you're getting literally about 29 points per game gone from a season ago. Now, they do return my guy DQ Nicholas. I like to call him Dairy Queen Nicholas. All right. He's good. All right. One of the better players in the conference, I think. He played almost 31 minutes a game last year, 12.5 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 1.3 steals. So he's bringing it on the defensive side of the ball. I like the guard play. Lucas Stieber might be, and Julian Samaro. Like those 3 guards, I like. Even though, they don't light it up necessarily on the scoreboard besides Nicholas, they are very good defensively. And I think that's going to give them a chance to compete. Now, the front court, I think they're going to go with the 4-guard lineup with Caleb Robinson and then Chikna Sissoko. But I'm intrigued on the transfers they brought in. Isaiah Richards coming in from the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana. That's one to me, like, that could be a sneaky good get. He's 6'10". They had a good program down there with the Raging Cajuns. They were a pretty good team over the past couple of years. They also brought in Sahar Lazar from New Mexico State, our favorite school there that had a lot of
very fun year last year.
On and off the court. So they're bringing him. They have a couple freshmen, JUCOs, stuff like that they're excited about. I don't know. The front court is an area of concern. Caleb Robinson, though, is a guy that I think is going to be asked to step up for this team. They also have, grad transfer guard Quest Aldrich on that bench. I love the guards, and I'm just going to take a shot on the guards being the difference. When I especially think of these mid-major leagues, I mean, anytime in college basketball, if you bring back the guards, very important to me. I think you can find big men that can fill in and replace. But I think that is the clear area of weakness for the Runnin Bulldogs. But I'm kind of high on them having potentially another top 4, top 5 finish again this year. How about yourself?
Yeah, I like Gardner Webb this year. They lose 2 of their top 3 scorers from last season, but the roster still features plenty of experience by running that pack line defense. The unit should finish in the top corner of the league and give Gardner Webb a chance to win night in and night out. Another reason why we loved watching Tim Kraft's team last year, I'm pulling up the schedule right now. I mean, in their first 3 games, they lose by 2 to Colorado State and by 6 to North Carolina. Last year, they were 5-11 in games decided by 2 possessions, aka 6 points or less. So the Bulldogs tasted success last year, but they were bouncing around one of the Big South tournament. DQ Nicholas played 30 minutes or more, or averaged 30 minutes a game last year, 12.5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. I think Coach Kraft will be encouraging DQ to create more of his own opportunities and result of replacing last year's top scorers that they lose this season. So look for him to step up his play once again this season. I like Gardner Webb. I think this is a top half of the league finish for the Bulldogs here.
They're a fun team. I enjoy watching them. I want to get to the next team here, but before I do that, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience Big South season preview is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Fantasy is a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. Underdog has just introduced Scorchers, too. Go 5 for 5 and pick up Scorchers and enjoy a spicy 100 times payout. Whoa, yeah, that's right. And for a limited time only, Underdog's extended their first deposit bonus up to $500. And they still got $100,000 Sundays where they give away $100,000 every Sunday. Yes, 10 lucky players will win $10K each and every Sunday. All right. So watch along, make picks, maybe make a little extra cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Manscaped. Yes, Manscaped, who has taken a step. This is a step up from old Balloween. Remember Balloween a year ago. To bring you bring your face the cleanest shave it's ever seen. Yeah, so this season, no need to toil and trouble. Manscaped's all-new Handyman is the best way to get rid of that stubble. Look at me right now. I got this shit. It's just bothering me. So many years, so many times I'll just go grab the shitty razors from, I don't know, CVS or something. And, you're in the middle of shaving, you're nicking your face, come out of the bathroom looking like you've been, in a tussle. Your wife, your girlfriend's thinking about leaving you because you look like just look like, some guy out of a slasher film with your face all fucked up. Supposed to meet her in-law. Supposed to meet the in-laws. It's just not a good situation. All right. I really recommend the Handyman because it's just smooth. You just turn the shit on. It's just going to take care of business. It was designed to give you that smooth finish without the mess of a traditional shave, having you look like you've been fresh off the meth pipe. You know what I mean? Get the sweetest treat this Halloween by going to manscaped.com and use the promo code SGP for 20% off free shipping. It may be spooky season, but you don't want to scare people looking like shit. So give them something nice to look at, huh? With Manscaped's Handyman. That's what I'm talking about. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code SGP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off free shipping at manscaped.com. Use that promo code SGP. For a look as sweet as candy, get yourself Handyman from Manscaped. All right, we are back.
Great read, Colby.
Thank you. It's Halloween. Look, and I'll be honest, I was going to shave yesterday. Went to the dentist yesterday. Guess what? Woke up a little later than I thought I would. Didn't shave. Because when you use that shitty little shaver, it takes time. It's time consuming. That's why I need the Manscaped.
Can't rush it or else you'll nick yourself.
I ordered the Handyman. Handyman's on the way. All right. Yeah, you can't nick. That's what I'm saying. You go in there, you look like a maniac. You look like, Buster Douglas coming out of there. All right. I'm excited about this next team. Chase says, Kobe, you got to wear a mask if you're trying to not scare people, especially for me. With my mug? You kidding me? Got all this gray hair and shit too. Yeah. Let's get back to picking projections. All right. The Big South. They're done with the family affair. And I'm talking about the High Point Panthers. Tubby Smith, his kids, they're gone. Get the Smiths out of there. Now they hire Alan Huss, and I'm very curious. So last year, High Point was 14-17, 6-12 in the Big South. You probably heard me bitch about this team a lot last year because damn if they didn't have moments where I thought they're good. And then I would be on them, when the season tips were here every single night of the season. So,
go right off that point, 8-1 to start the year.
Yeah, I was convinced. I was buying stock in High Point. And then they just started making me look like a fool night in, night out. They go out and hire Alan Huss from Crichton. Michael Crichton. Jaden House is gone. Zach Austin's gone. Those guys combined for about 31.5 points a game. But even the bench, deep on the bench, Bryant Randleman's gone. Emmanuel Uzunabor's gone. Ahmad Harvey gone. Emil Flowers gone. Alex Holt gone. It's a lot of players gone. But to me, clean house. Fuck it. I'm intrigued by the hire of Huss. I know Creighton can score. I feel like Creighton can always score. So he goes out in the portal. Well, first off, he brings back Abdullah Thiam, who played about 30 minutes a game as a freshman. 13.6 points per game. I'm intrigued. Very intrigued. He's like the one guy they bring back. Maybe Justin Taylor or Bryson Childress on the bench. But I'm intrigued that he was able to bring back such a good freshman from a year ago. Now, they went out in the portal. And man, they bring in Kamani Hamilton from Mississippi State with Chris Jans and company. They bring in Duke Miles from the Troy Trojans, who averaged 14 points a game there. They go out and get Trey Benham from Lipscomb. 7 points a game there with Lipscomb. Liam McKesney from Illinois State. Kiza Gifa from Daytona State, who needs to start their football program. And they're waiting on a couple other guys that I think they're very excited about, pending waivers. D. Barnes from Southern Utah, the Thunderbirds, and Pablo Duzibia from the Maryland Terrapins. I mean, you want to talk about the hardest team to read? It's probably this one, but I actually came away kind of impressed about what they did in the portal, and I kind of like the hire of Huss. Noah, what do you think of the Panthers?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. This one probably is one of the tougher ones to read. In 2022, you kind of went over all the Smith stuff, but something was good with this roster, then quickly spoiled, and result High Point. They move on from the family. They bring in Huss. This roster saw crazy turnover. If you told me that this team finished in the middle or the upper tier of the Big South with good seasons from Duke Miles, Abdullah Thiam, and Kamani Hamilton, who's the Mississippi State transfer that they're high on here, I don't think I'd be shocked, because I do think that Huss might turn out to be a good coach. But in general, this is just not a situation that I typically love to get behind. He's a first-time head coach. He loses 7 players from a team that was perceived to have pretty good talent. They lose House, which was a big loss. And bring in 9 new players to a new program with a brand new head coach. It's just not a situation that I love to get behind.
All right. I'm super excited to see your pecking order, because I maybe I was a little more bullish on High Point.
Really? I just think like that top tier in this conference.
I don't have him in the top tier. I have him in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's talk about the Lancers. All right, we've been sitting here dancing around Ike's favorite team, former Longwood Lancer himself. Super entertaining team to watch as Griff Aldrich enters year 6 there in Farmville, Virginia. They were 20-12 a year ago, 12-6 in the Big South. this is a fun team over the past couple of years. And they go out and they get they lose Isaiah Wilkins, one of their better players, and also Deshaun Wade. Those two combined for like about 23 points a game. They also lose Zach Watson and Nate Lateris, as well as Leslie. Oh boy. Nikirwem. Nikirwem. I can't fucking pronounce that. I can't pronounce that guy's name. But anyway, look, they have newcomers coming in. Well, first off, they return Waylon Napper, which I think you got to like. They return D.A. Houston or Da Houston. I don't know if that's and Michael Christmas. You got to like that. All right. Those three guys and Jesper Granlund, some guys that played some serious minutes for them a year ago. They go out in the portal and they bring in Jonathan Massey from McNeese State. Massey double digits there with the Cowboys, dips out. Will Wade comes into McNeese. You want to traditionally leave Will Wade situations unless you're getting bags of cash. So he heads out to the Lancers, and they also bring in Johan Nzimi from Independence Community College there. Also, they go out and get Zaxby Sunderland from East Carolina. I mean, look, it wasn't working out with the Pirates, but, could have stayed and stuck it out and showed some toughness, but it's okay. Go
they brought in chicken with Zaxby's?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm joking, man. Sunderland couldn't. He wasn't killing it in Greenville, so he's looking for a better opportunity, like we all would. Elijah Tucker coming in from Xavier and the Musketeers. And they also went and got a Zyman Zapala from Utah State. Good program there in Logan. I kind of think I like the guard play here. I actually, it's really who's going to step up in the front court. Michael Christmas definitely going to be that guy, I think. But still, I'm talking about the big man spot. Zapala, 7-foot senior. Could he be the guy? And that's one thing that strikes me here is getting some of that. You don't see a lot of 7-footers in mid-major land, and that could be substantial get there. He's by far the tallest player on the team. If anything, the closest other players are Trey Hicks and Elijah Tucker at 6'8". So it'll be interesting to see how this works with Zapala. But I can tell you this: I like the guards. I like potentially the starting five. So I kind of think they're going to be a top 3 team again. What do you make of the Lancers?
So first off, with the beneficiary of Ike being in the chat for us, he's telling us that they got a new arena and he'd like us to shout it out. Everywhere I looked actually has not updated this, but it is true. They have a new arena, and I'm pulling it up right now. There we go.
Perry Brock Center. Let's go. That thing's looking fresh.
Center.
I need to get over there for a Lancers game. And they need to start their football program too, though. Come on. Virginia, tons of great high school football. What are you doing? The whole dude, you watch all over college football. They got fucking studs from Virginia everywhere. It's like, what's going on? Start your football program. I know you're a small school. Start it. FCS, baby. Let's go, Lancers. Shout out to them getting a new basketball facility, though. Your thoughts on Longwood, though, man?
Yeah, so over the years, we've loved the ride Longwood. And if Mac was on the show, I'm going to say what he'd probably say. And I'd agree with him. This is a culture play. You have to trust what Griff Aldrich has built at Longwood. This team may not look as strong on paper as in years past, but the entire projected starting 5 seniors, year in and year out, this is one of the best offensive teams in the Big South. You have to think that Aldrich will have Michael Christmas dropping presents every day. This Longwood team is definitely going to be a top half team. I have trouble getting behind them competing for a Big South title. I think there are a couple of teams that might be better here in the preseason, but I would not be surprised if Aldrich has this team competing for one. But I'm just telling you, that's not how I'm projecting it here today.
He's coming for you, Ike. I got him finishing in the top half. I think that's actually, I have him finishing 4th.
I do too.
Okay. We'll get to it in a second, the exact pecking order, but I'm excited for him. Next up, let's talk about Presbyterian, the Blue Hose, coming off a 5-27 season where they were just 1-17 in conference. Quentin Farrell, it's time to put up or shut up. Jalen Forrest and Winston Hill are gone, two solid contributors from a year ago. Even Owen McCormick and Terrell Ard, all together, you're losing about, I would say, about 36, 37 points a game from a year ago on a team that only won one conference game. Incoming, intriguing. They got a couple freshmen they like. They also went out and got Samaji Teal from Winston-Salem State. Teal was a stud at Winston-Salem State. Stepping up a division, though. Also, from Francis Marion, Jonah Pierce. Once again, this guy was a stud, but stepping up a level. Also got Jamari Harvey from UNC Wilmington with the Seahawks, who, he got about 13 minutes a game with the Seahawks last year. Caught him in person playing last year. Also, Caleb Scott coming in from Georgia State. Interesting. You've got about 11 minutes a game there at Georgia State in the Sun Belt. Okay, active in the portal. Can that result to wins? They return a lot of production too. Kobe Stewart, back 21 minutes a game, 7 points, 5 boards. Also, Reddish Roan, a fifth-year senior guard, 29 minutes a game a season ago, 7 points. Marquise Barnett, also 31 minutes a game a season ago, 9 points a game, 5 boards. Crosby James, backup guard there, 24 and a half minutes a game, 9 points a game. That's a lot of minutes returning. Question is how are these transfers do? Because someone's got to score the ball. They lost a lot of offensive production, either to graduation or the portal. And they play at the final Templeton PE Center. Nobody walks into the Templeton PE Center and gets a dub, folks. Yeah, I got this team towards the back.
You probably didn't play like phone app games, but this is the Temple Run. If you knew what that game was.
I don't know that.
That was a big game.
But world does, not me.
Anytime a team pulls like this many transfers outside of the D1 ranks, it's always tough for me to project. That's not really my specialty. I've heard of a few schools that some of these guys are coming from just from playing baseball to D2, NAIA, JUCO ranks. However, when a team, I'm reading everything that they're relying on them to kind of step into some pivotal roles. They had great years where they came from. They're taking a step up, like you mentioned. Ultimately, for me, it comes down to coaching. And when you have to dive into Quentin Farrell's record or resume here, he had 5 wins last year with only 1 conference win. He had 12 wins in 2022 with only 4 conference wins. He had 7 wins in 21 and 10 wins in 2020. You just can't trust hose, especially blue hose. Sorry, Avatar. This team's a bottom half team of the league for me too.
Yeah, I mean, not very. They're getting better in football though. Blue Hose subscribe to the FCS college football experience. Yeah, let's keep it going, man, because I mean, I thought they were one of the teams you kind of definitely understood in this conference, but let's jump down and talk about the Highlanders. Radford, 21-15 a year ago, 12-6, second in the Big South. They went to the CBI. Darris Nichols, I think a really good coach. Obviously, if Mac was here, he'd tell you, damn good coach and big future for him. As Radford, lost some production from a year ago. Shaquan Jules gone, Josiah Jeffers gone, Niang gone, Suleiman Koresi gone, but I kind of think those were like maybe some good defenders, some good rebounders, but not much when it came to the scoring side of the ball. All in all, losing those 4 guys, about 23 points a game, considering. So, incoming, well, first off, returning, DeQuan Smith for his 5th year, 31 minutes a game, 14 points a game last year. He's back. You got to love senior guard play. Brian Antoine also back, 28 minutes.
He's the Villanova transfer too.
Yeah. Wait, was he? That was 2 years ago though. He was Nova
Yeah.
transfer, right? Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Villanova guards, they're like gold in the portal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at the returning production too, Justin Archer, the big man, 24 minutes a game. Even the backup guard play, Keon Giles, guy played 22 minutes a game a season ago. They have some minutes back, and then they were very active in the portal, bringing in a transfer from Indian Hills. Great name here, Truth Harris. They're super excited about Truth Harris to complement that guard play of going with the 3-guard lineup of Smith, Antoine, and Truth Harris. I'm excited to watch it. And then they went out and got from Lenore Ryan, TJ Naismith. Interesting there. He averaged about 17 points a game. We'll see how it works out in the Big South. Also, Chandler Turner coming in from Bowling Green. At Bowling Green last year, this is a grad transfer from Bowling Green. He played 25 minutes a game in the MAC, about 9 points, 5 boards. Once again, I think the MAC's stronger conference than the Big South. So I think that's a substantial get for the Highlanders. And you add in some of that returning production they have, whether it's Yamazaki or DeAndre Pierce, who as a freshman just got a little bit of burn, but a 6'10" freshman I think they're excited about. I think this is a pretty deep team. I have them competing for a championship in the Big South. What do you think of the Radford Highlanders and my statement?
So I really like this team, and I'm kind of right there with you as well. If there was one nitpick that I have, is kind of this roster lacks a little bit of size, as that was their weakness last year, and they need to find a point guard that they're able to be comfortable with. If they do that, specifically the point guard, the size isn't going to be fixed. But with a point guard, this team's going to be dangerous in the Big South. The Highlanders, they returned the top 4 scorers from last year. The projected starting 5 contains 3 seniors and a junior. You have to love that. Both Daquan Smith and Brian Antoine are sharpshooting guards that hit over 40% of their threes from last year. Darris Nichols is a great coach with the Highlanders. They tied for second last year in the Big South with a CBI semifinals appearance. I think they're going to do more of the same this year. And even looking at the schedule, should be fun early on in the season. Opening day, North Carolina, could be an ATS darling there. And then November 15th, circle this one, could be a moneyline dog. They play VCU. Lots of turnover there. New coach.
They're going to win that. They're going to win that.
Yeah. I like that spot. And then Darris Nichols goes to West Virginia for Mac and company. So that one should be fun. I like Radford as a top 3 team here in the Big South.
Me too. All right, let's move along. Talk about the Bulldogs. My Bulldogs from a year ago. My Bulldogs that I think are going to give the Wolverines hell the first week of November. I'm talking about UNC Asheville. They need to start their football program. That's unbelievable that they don't have their football program going. But look, this is a really good team. Asheville, North Carolina, awesome city. Highly recommend it. And this is a team 27-8 a season ago, 16-2 in the Big South. They went dancing. Mike Morrow enters his 6th season there in Asheville. And look, I know they lost Jones, who was one of their better players a season ago, about 15 points a game, 5 boards. They also lost a couple other guys, Alex Codwell and Amadou Cilia. But those all together, I mean, Jones was the big hit at 15 points per game, just about. They have Drew Pember. 33.5 minutes a game a season ago. Remember, there was talk that he could have played pro ball, somewhere. 21 points per game, 9 boards. Oh, man, 2.3 blocks. He's back. Best player in the whole conference. Without a doubt. Without a fucking doubt. Yeah. And here's what I'm super excited about. I'm really excited about this team this year because, okay, you got to find someone to step up for the loss of Tajan Jones.
Ty Young.
Yeah. And but at the same time, They return Fletcher Abbey, I think it is. Nick McMullen. These guys played substantial minutes. Caleb Burgess. They played substantial minutes a season ago. Jamon Battle, fifth-year senior. This is how many fifth-year seniors are on this team?
This is one of the notes that I had. They have 8.
Unfucking believable. So they go out in the portal. They land Josh Banks from VCU, which I think is a good get, because to play for VCU under Mike Rhodes, you gotta know how to play defense.
And he was practicing every day with Ace Baldwin. I mean, that's the only reason why he's not has more run.
And you're normally super athletic too. Traditionally, that's been the VCU makeup. But they also get Greg Gant from NC State. This is a guy that played 17 and a half minutes, fifth-year senior from NC State. I think
By the way, both guys that you just highlighted, 41% three-point shooter, 43% three-point shooter, respectively.
Yeah. Well, and then how about the Evan Johnson kid from Georgia State? This is a junior. Last year with Georgia State with the Panthers in the Sun Belt, he played 26 minutes a game, 9 points per game. This team, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I got them finishing first. I think they're going to be a tough out for anybody that plays them. I'm very high on this team, and I think they're going to be better than they were a season ago.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. Like, you're telling me that 2023 Big South Player of the Year, Drew Pember, returns with 8 experienced seniors with him. I don't think you need to say more. Mike Morrell's Bulldogs are once again capable of winning a game in the NCAA tournament. Last year, they were kind of run out of the building. They had a bad draw against UCLA. Colby, what if I told you that this team is getting 9.5 points on opening night, according to Torvik, against Michigan?
Stop it.
I am taking those are my Wolverines, but there's no way in hell. Pember's the best player on the floor.
Yeah. What the hell? 9.5? I understand the crowd will be there, but come on.
I mean, just a short preview of this team for Michigan, my boys. Olivier Conway, and then what else? We have Doug McDaniel and Terrace Reed returning, but I mean, this is an experienced UNC Asheville team looking to wreck a home opener for a Power 5, a high major team.
Start your program, Asheville, football wise too. I mean, come on, the mountain town. That's just a fucking great town. They should have football and basketball. Folks, look, before we get to the next one, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Yes, win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Look, research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we're back on the Big South 2023-24 season preview. And here we go. I mean, I kind of feel like if you're talking Big South, this could be a sneaky team. South Carolina Upstate, the Spartans. Dave Dickerson is back for his 6th season. They were 16-16 a year ago, 10-8 in conference. They went to the CBI, lost in the first round, but they did lose slew of guys, mainly Jordan Gainey, 15 points a game, stud. But they also lost a slew of reserves. Meister Goodlow, 7 points a game. Kadarius Smith, 8 points a game. And a couple other reserves. But they still bring back some key guys. Justin Bailey and Trey Broadnax. Both those guys played 30 minutes a game for them a year ago, averaged in double digits. Huge guys to come back on this team. You also have a bunch of other returning production. Nick Alves, the other guard spot, 17 minutes a game. Also, how about Jordan Surratt coming back? As a freshman, played about 16 minutes a game. I look for him to take a big jump. Also, Amir Langlis, Lang. Yeah, I'm probably butchering your name, Amir. But you're solid. You 14 minutes a game last year. I think now the fact the starting position is his, I think could jump up. You also have Floyd Rideau Jr., 17 minutes a game a season ago. All of that production coming back, and then you go out in the portal, you land Miguel Ayesa from William and Mary with the Tribe. You also bring in Patrick Iriel from Spartanburg Methodist. Oh, stepping up a division. And also Jorge Ochoa from the Catamounts of Vermont. All penciled in to be reserves for the most part. What do you make of this squad, man? I think this is a team, when I was going through this, that could surprise a little bit. Now, I don't think they're going to be top 3, but I'm saying night in, night out, you might get bit by Sparty one of these nights. What do you make of Upstate?
I like the term scrappy. I think last year they were young and scrappy. This year they're still going to be kind of young and scrappy. They lose their leading scorer in Jordan Gainey, but the duo of Trey Broadnax and Justin Bailey returns. Bailey, he was a freshman that played 30 minutes a game last season, putting up 10 points per game. If you can get him to elevate his game going into his sophomore year, it would certainly lessen the blow of losing Gainey. If everything goes right, this could turn into like that sleeper dark horse USC Upstate team that finished in the top half of the Big South last year. It's going to be tough because the next team, the last team that we're going to talk about, is not going to be as bad as they were last year. But USC Upstate could definitely finish in the top half of the league again, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And let's get to that other team, the Winthrop Eagles. Yes. Mark Prosser, son of Skip Prosser, rest in peace, legendary college basketball coach at Xavier and Wake Forest. 15-17 a year ago, 10-8 in conference, finished 4th in the Big South. They lose Corey Hightower and Toneri Lane and Howard Fleming. Altogether, it's about, I would say, 28, 29 points a game. But they return Kason Harrison and also Sincere McMahon that combined for, first, they both played about 30 minutes a game. They together, this backcourt put together about 25 points per game. Those guys are back, which you got to be high on. And also the big man, Kelton Talford, 6'7" senior, 16 points a game a season ago, 8 boards. You got to love this nucleus of this team that is returning, especially knowing that Chase Claxton, their other forward, played about 30 minutes a game. He's back as well. A couple reserves, that Isaiah Wilson at the backup guard spot. He's a senior. He's back 23 minutes a game a season ago. That is a bit substantial. Then what they brought in the portal, Nick Johnson coming in from New Hampshire with the Wildcats, is an interesting get. Played 33.5 minutes a game with the Wildcats. He's a senior, 13 points a game over there with the Wildcats. And then Bucknell transfer Alex Timmerman coming in, 20. He's a grad transfer again, 28 minutes a game there, 11.5 points per game, 7 boards. I like these additions here on this roster. I'm buying in. I think this is going to be a much improved team. So, what do you make of this team, man?
Yeah, you have to love the continuity of this Winthrop team. Last year, they lost a few key pieces due to injury, and they finished 4th in the Big South. It was Winthrop's worst record since 2013. So, taking that into account, you know that this team's going to just be better immediately. And I'll get more into it in a second, but I like looking at some of the schedules in the preseason. Where can I pick out some spots that I can take a team that I'm definitely going to be higher on than the rest of the market? I mean, this team finished, their record last year was 15-17. They lost 8 conference games. That's not your typical Winthrop. Game 1, I like Clemson this year, but they play Clemson on Torvik. Ken Pom has not come out yet with 2024 games, but they're getting 16 points against Clemson. Clemson does not blow out teams by 16 points. That game's going to be close. Then you scroll down, they're going to be favored in a couple of games. I'm going to target heavily. They are at Georgia November 24th. They're getting 10 points. I think they can win that game outright. Back to this team, despite the injuries last year, Mark Prosser's offense finished atop the league and thus gave many depth pieces some experience that they are going to use this season. Just like UNC Asheville, this team also returns 8 seniors that will be important contributors this season. All 8 of them averaged at least 22 minutes a game in their last season they played. Of course, for Michael Enumba, he missed all of last season due to injury. He is an excellent defender and was probably some reason why this team was very bad defensively. He's the best defensive player. And he's a transitionable wing that can handle the ball and shoot it well. He's a key piece that, I mean, they were missing. And I think Prosser was saying that it was a big damper on this team going into the season. So Winthrop is going to be much improved this year. They're going to challenge for a Big South title and could even pull an upset if they get into the NCAA tournament with this really experienced group.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let's get to our pecking order, because I'm big on Winthrop as well.
Me too.
Let's start with number 9. Number 9, I have as Presbyterian.
I do too.
Number 8, the Charleston Southern Buccaneers.
Me too.
Number 7, the High Point Panthers.
Correct.
Wow. Number 6, I put the South Carolina Upstate, what are they, Spartans?
Yes.
Yeah, that was my number 6. You too?
Yep.
Jeez, I swear we didn't talk before this.
No.
At number 5, I have the Gardner Webb Runnin Bulldogs.
Yep.
This is the chalkiest conference of all time.
It's gonna be fun though. There's gonna be some shaking.
At number 4, I have the Longwood Lancers.
Yes. Oh no.
At number 3, I have Winthrop.
No, I have Radford.
Oh, there we go. Finally.
There we go.
Number 1, UNC Asheville. So we just
I've Winthrop 2 and UNC Asheville number 1 too.
We didn't even need to do this episode, folks. No, I'm joking. Folks, I'm curious your thoughts. Hop on over to the College Basketball Experience on iTunes or wherever, and give us a 5-star review. Leave your comments. Maybe you think we're idiots, and that's fair. But I do think UNC Asheville, providing everyone stay healthy, is going to make a run to the big dance. But I'm intrigued. Let me ask you this. What would be who's the surprise team here? Is it Gardner Webb?
The sleeper team's Gardner Webb, I think.
Who could be the biggest disappointment? Could it be?
I think if we're talking about it like a team that falls off from expectation, it's Longwood. I don't know if it's going to be a disappointment season, but if I have them finishing 4th, you have them finishing 4th. I don't think that's where they want to be.
Yeah. That's going to be fascinating to watch, folks. Once again, remember, when the season tips November 6th, that means that we have an episode out November 5th talking about every single game that ever happens in college basketball. We fucking cover it. All right. D1 college basketball. Give Noah Bieniek a follow on Twitter at NoahB77_. I got that right?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Give me a follow. The College Basketball Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Also, like I said, you can watch this episode, youtube.com/The College Experience. All season long. We'll be here. You can watch it. So subscribe over there. It's the hub for all of our college shows. Once again, I host the College Football Experience, where we talk FBS college football, every single game there. I also
I pulled up odds real quick, if you don't mind me stopping you here.
Sure.
Winthrop plus 190, Asheville plus 200.
What?
Yeah. They are not the favorite to win it.
I'm all over Asheville.
I love Asheville.
Plus 200. That's fucking good odds. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, get on over there. Shop till you drop. Like I was saying, youtube.com/The College Experience, the hub for all of them. The College Football Experience, the College Basketball Experience, the FCS College Football Experience, the College Baseball Experience, the Big 12 Experience, all on YouTube.com/The College Experience. Those are all separate podcasts. If you're looking for iTunes, Spotify, whatever, please, if you can, hop on over there. 5 stars. Come talk college hoops with us, by the way, in the Discord. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Also, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast, which I'm a part of as well. They go live every Friday on VSiN, VSIN. That's VSiN, the network, Brent Musburger's network on YouTube TV. Live from Las Vegas every single Friday night. Subscribe, tell a friend, check it out. Shout out to everyone in the chat. And get the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store, folks. And if you're watching this right now, football, we have a Week 7 preview and picks in about 20 minutes. So check out that, folks. And until next time, this is the Big South 2023-24 college basketball season preview. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Spit my darts, you get ripped apart. Save the cookie cutter butter for 106 apart. Cause of your liquor will I sip your heart. You never dumb it down, dog. If you're smart, I throw out a couple of lines. Fighters are quick to cross. Fish you on a dick to lie. Piss you off, it goes. Tits and bras, lips and jaws. I use my common sense to see the bitch and all. Good thing you got the market corner. Kids and malls. Grip the red carpet as you slip and fall off. Another career spear. Thanks for trying to block. You get an A for effort and an F for shut the fuck up. Here's a hint. Put down the mic, you catch a glimpse. And keep your minds wide when you see me. Mics, I seize them. So when you see him, you gotta go reason to look. Catch a glimpse. A lot of these heads need to improve their improv. Talent's not a program you download to install. Quality spread through hard work, no involved. My peers respect me because I'm genuinely involved. Beyond gathering names to build up my buddy list. You decide friendships and pounds and suicide and bloody risk. Come equipped or leave empty-handed. They don't call me C's for nothing. See the camera? Smile. Click. Here comes the picture. You act like a child. Manhood don't fit you. I'll break your whole style down to a bumper sticker. I never need a gun to lift you. Here's a hint. Put down the mic, you catch a glimpse. And keep them eyes wide when you see me. Mics, I seize them. So when you see him, you gotta go reason to look.